So thanks for joining us on the Fashion Dialogue with the Fashion Retail Academy. If you could just introduce yourself.
I'm Charlotte, Emily Sanders.
So if you want to sort of bring us right back to the beginning, and where your love of fashion started.
Or
where did you grow up as well?
I grew up in South London. I've always lived in South London. I've always really loved fashion. I feel like when I was younger, people used to, like, my aunties and stuff would offer me sweets and I'd ask for like handbags. So I feel like I've been like that since I was like 3.
Yeah.
So I think it's always really been in me, and it's just like the only thing I'm good at, really. So I feel like I've just always had it in me.
And when you were in school, did you study anything fashion related or?
No, I didn't actually, but I always used to be told, all you care about is fashion, you need to like focus on maths or whatever else, but I feel like that's always been my interest.
So what was that moment when you thought, I'm gonna quit my job and I'm gonna go full time with this? What gave you the idea to sort of get it off the ground?
So I worked in finance for years, like different jobs in finance, and my last job actually before I quit was in finance, and I just felt like I used to get up every day and just feel so bored, so unmotivated, and I had this job full time, and then I said, look, I want to go part time, and then one day I just thought, I cannot get up and do this anymore. And I wasn't really making much at the time from doing anything fashion related, didn't have the brand, wasn't doing much on Instagram, but I just thought I'd rather just focus 7 days a week on what I love and it will grow. So I just took the risk really and just quit my job.
So where were you at when you decided to quit with your following?
I think I just hit 100k followers. And I remember going into work one day and I think someone had annoyed me or something, and I just thought, you know, this is like a sign, I'm just gonna leave. And as soon as I left, I had like 7 days a week to really put everything into it, and then as soon as I left and was doing that, it was just growing like so fast, and then I thought, oh my god, I'm just so glad that I'm not sitting at a desk doing finance anymore.
Were you nervous though when you?
I was a bit scared. Like my mum said, like, what are you gonna do? Like, how are you gonna make money? Because I wasn't actually making that much at the time, and I just thought, I don't actually care. Like, I'd rather just do something I love. And I think when you do something you love, it just naturally comes. So I was scared, but it paid off.
And when you started putting in 100%, 7 days a week, did it start to happen very quickly?
Very
did it?
fast.
Because you're at 592,000, I think.
But I don't know what's going on with Instagram. It's just going up and down at the moment.
Does it literally go up all the
God.
time?
It's literally. I was on 600k like a year ago. Because
really?
it goes down and then it goes back up.
I
think a lot of people are going through that now. Like other bloggers I know are going through the same thing. I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but
we're still 500,000 people follow you.
And I just think it's harder now to gain a following. It was much easier back then, and it would just go up every single day. Now it just does take a bit longer. But
Did you face any struggles or sacrifices when you decided to do this, or anything that you didn't expect to happen?
I think the struggle more than anything was taking the leap to actually leave. Obviously within anything, working for yourself, you do get like hiccups with anything, but nothing really major that I could say has been like a huge struggle, because I think you learn from anything anyway. The most like thing I struggled with was thinking when to actually leave my job to do it full time. I'd say that was the biggest thing, but actually doing it, I don't face that many, because with anything things do go wrong sometimes, and I love it. So I wouldn't say it's a struggle. I've not really had any struggles.
But what about any like motivation? Like, how do you keep up to date with like trends? Because I would struggle.
I don't know. I think because I genuinely think about fashion 24/7. If I'm not shooting content for Instagram, I'm like thinking of designs for a brand, and so it is literally on my mind 24/7. So I'm constantly like on YouTube, Pinterest, magazines. Like I've got the Vogue Runway app where you can just see like every designer, like all the shows and stuff. I'm just like obsessed. So I do generally like watch things, read things, and like look
second nature.
Second nature.
You started your own brand, Sunday, in 2019, so a couple of years ago. So how did you get to that point? When did you think, I'm going to do my own brand?
Okay, so it was actually 2 of my friends had the brand, but they'd started it, not really done that much with it. 2 guys, and I knew one of them through Instagram. The other one didn't know. He'd introduced me to him, and we kind of did like a tester of like, you know, I designed a few things, and we just like family now. So it was just like, okay, this will be like our thing, and obviously we've grown so much since in the last 2 years. It's crazy. I never expected that to happen, but yeah, it's just been amazing, really.
Did the clothes that they were stocking, was it quite, because the clothes that are on there now, when I had a look, they're quite similar to what you wear, like on your Instagram.
It is completely just basically things that I want to wear that I can't find on the high street, or I would find it in Selfridges for like £2 grand. Do you know what I mean? So we made like a middle point, really, of good quality items that people can buy for a decent price. That's...
And you also did, so you've also done edits with brands. How was that?
It's fun doing something different. Obviously Sunday Bay is very full on, and I design everything, and it's different to like go to another brand and, you know, choose different kind of things to what we sell on Sunday Bay. So it's nice to have like both sides.
So do you design everything for Sunday Bay? You literally go from
everything,
the whole, and you do the whole process.
I'm lucky my business partners let me just be bossy, and just like, I kind of just went in and took over, and they trust my judgment and trust things that I like or don't like. It just works. So
it's quite exciting being able, because I wish I could design things.
I really find it hard to find things in the shop. So thank God, because like 70% of my wardrobe is Sunday Bay, so it has its perks.
So Sunday Bay is now stocked in Selfridges. How did that happen, and how did that feel?
It was a huge moment for me, because when I used to work full-time, or not even full-time, when I was so young and I had like my first part-time job in London, I remember I used to go to Selfridges after work and just look at things in there and be like, oh my God, like, I could not even imagine being able to shop in here. Because I was only like 17. And I just used to be fascinated with Selfridges, and obviously as I've got older I started shopping in there. I used to think, when we started Sunday Bay, I could not even imagine having my stuff in Selfridges one day. So for me it's a big milestone for me.
So what would you say is the most important thing about running your own company and brand? Is there anything that you wish you knew beforehand?
I think you have to have a lot of patience. Like, things do go wrong a lot. My business partners are very like relaxed and like laid back, whereas I'm like, if something goes wrong I panic and I start going crazy, and then like, just calm down. Like, so we balance each other out, but I think you do have to be patient, because things do go wrong a lot, or someone lets you down, or like a manufacturer will send something and it's wrong and you've got like a release date, or things do happen, you know. So I'd say patience more than anything, and to still be motivated to carry on when things do go wrong is so important.
Were you like, have you kind of learned on the job with how to run like your own company?
Because I've not studied, I've not done like a business course, I've not done like even a fashion course. This is just, I'm just winging it along. But I think having passion for something is the most important thing. I think you can't really have a business for something if you're not passionate about it. So I think that is the most important thing.
And because I think there's a lot of students here, and also like there will be who watch this who have their own company and are kind of struggling to push it to that next level. Like, did you face any of those struggles? I know it was kind of already started when you joined, but have you had any of those?
I mean, you could say I have a head start because I've been on Instagram for years, so I'd say that's like
but it still doesn't mean that it would 100% work.
If people don't like your product, they ain't gonna buy it. It doesn't matter how many followers you've got. But I think I just bear in mind what my followers like that I wear. I know my followers love that I wear blazers, and so when I make products I will focus on that. I know kind of what people like, or we'll test the product. If it doesn't do as well, we'll know not to go in that avenue again. So you do like learn as you go along, but I think I do have like quite a good focus group where I've got the following. So it's definitely given me a head start. I can imagine it would be quite hard nowadays, because so many people do have businesses to push them. But I think if you're selling a product that's good and it's a good quality product and you keep pushing it, eventually will. It just might take a bit longer. So I definitely think,
perseverance. What would you say sort of your biggest achievement is today? With anything, just with you personally?
Well, I've bought my own place. How long ago was it? About a year and a half ago. For me, that's a really big achievement. Living in South London, it's really hard to buy a place on your own. And just thinking that I was doing a job years ago that barely paid any money, I hated it. So now doing a job.
How many years have you been doing Instagram now?
Well, I started posting my outfits when I was like 19, so it's been like 8 years. I'm nearly 27. And I've literally posted.
But when you first would have started posting outfits, obviously now on Instagram you can do shopping and all this sort of stuff, and like getting influence to influence brands, using influencers wasn't a thing back then.
It wasn't.
So you've it's only really come into play in the last couple of years, I'd say.
Yeah, it's a massive thing.
Is that when you noticed it was?
Yeah, I feel like before people would like really staring after you if you was in the street taking a picture, whereas I feel like now it's more of a normal thing.
Yeah. Do you ever get nervous doing that?
No, I don't care.
No.
People laugh at me all the time. I don't care.
Because whenever I'm wearing a nice outfit, and I'd always say to like my mum and my friend, take a picture, and it just does. I'm too scared.
Years ago, my mum would be so embarrassed to take my picture.
I was still
I don't
shy.
care because you're never going to see the people again.
Yeah.
Obviously, for me, it's a job, so I'm not going to worry about someone looking at me, watching me, anything like that. It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
At first, it's like, I wasn't embarrassed, but it's a bit annoying when you're trying to take a picture and you've got like builders like shouting at you or whatever. But now I just ignore it. It doesn't really bother me because I enjoy shooting content.
Yeah, well, you need it.
Yeah, it takes the fun out of it, I think, if you just let people,
Yeah, but what about on Instagram? Do you face any sort of personal struggles with that?
I think I personally, and I know a lot of other bloggers, because I'm friends with quite a lot of girls in the industry, we are quite self-critical of our Instagrams, and I know we all look at it and I'm like, oh, it looks messy, or oh, I don't like that picture anymore that I posted a week ago, or why did I wear it? Like, I think you overanalyze and you look at it so much. And I think to other people, they're looking at our Instagrams thinking, oh, I really love her content, this is great. Obviously, people follow you for a reason, but I think a lot of us are self-critical and like do overanalyze it a bit too much.
Have you learned to find ways to deal with that?
No, I'm still learning. I think I'm a perfectionist and I've got like OCD and I just overanalyze it a bit too much.
Have you learned to find ways to deal with that?
No, I'm still learning. I think I'm a perfectionist and I've got like OCD and I just overanalyze everything. I do it in my house. I look at stuff and I'm like, I need to change this, I need to change this, or I get bored easily, or I think that's something I definitely need to work on.
But it's obviously your job and you love it.
Yeah.
So where do you see sort of your Instagram going in the next 5 years? Would you go branch out onto other platforms? Because
I don't know. I mean, there might be new platforms in the next 5 years. So I'm not too sure really, but I think with Instagram I want to show more of, like designing for Sunday Bay and being a bit more of a lifestyle Instagram, and worrying a bit less about the aesthetic and just posting more like, working for Sunday Bay or doing design trips or stuff like that, showing a bit more of that side of things and a bit less influence.
So obviously in the last year we've been faced with the pandemic, so how has your brand been affected by this?
I think in terms of like, we got set back months because our manufacturer was like, everything was delayed. So I'd say it wasn't a great time in terms of that, but I feel like strangely, I think a lot of people are buying. I feel like a lot of people have been furloughed and at home and are actually wanting to buy stuff. So with regards to like sales or anything, we've not really been affected. I think it just slowed us down in terms of like bringing in new products and things like that. Not being able to shoot and things like that was a bit annoying, but I think now it's slowly starting to get a bit back to normal, and I think it was just the manufacturing side of things that slowed us down. But in terms of sales, people...
Future is bright.
Looking good.
And then in terms of like the future of sort of influencing, and because obviously you've been doing this for a long time now, and you've obviously seen it go through many different phases. What do you sort of think the future of that industry and blogging? Do you feel like there's always room for more people, or?
I think there's a lot of influencers around now. I think it's quite hard to be an influencer now because there is so many people, whereas when I started there wasn't really that many, and I think that's why for me, before I was growing so much, the future of Instagram, I don't know, sometimes I think, is there going to be a different app now and everyone will like move over, or like, I don't really think anyone knows, to be honest.
What do you think that do you think it's hard to stay up to date with trends, like, because obviously you're still going and you're going really strong, but I think there's a few people that would probably be worried about like quitting their job and thinking, well, if it doesn't work, then
it is a big risk, even more so now. But even like when I said about having your own brand, you just have to persevere. I think if you are really putting a lot of effort into your content and you're really consistent with it, I think, and people like it, it will grow. It just might take a bit longer.
Is that what you noticed, sort of like staying? Did you stick with sort of, you've been true to yourself, and do you think that's what's helped you grow?
I think people follow people for different reasons. Like, I've got friends that are bloggers that are so chatty and like really outgoing on Instagram. I've never really been like that. I think people just genuinely follow me for outfit inspo, because I don't really talk that much on Instagram. I don't really do like vlogs or anything like that.
Is that why? Is that
I don't know. I think when you said about staying true to yourself, I would never do something that I didn't feel comfortable doing, or something I felt I should do because everyone else was doing it. I would never do that. So I feel like I'm comfortable doing what I've been doing all these years, and it does work for me.
Just carry on. If you could go back and change anything about the way you've done anything, what would it be and why?
I don't think I would change anything at all.
Would you do anything differently?
No, I wouldn't. Just because I think you have to learn from things. So I wouldn't change anything. I'm quite happy to just go along, learn from mistakes, grow. I wouldn't change anything.
No. So when you're doing, like you said, with some items, when you're doing Sunday and there's things that don't work, do you always learn? Do you learn from that? And
I think, like, even stuff like that I wouldn't change, because we now know what our strong points are for the future, what doesn't work so well, what things we can focus on, what things we shouldn't make, kind of thing. So I think you really do need to learn from things going wrong or not going how you expected to be able to grow.
It's not always going to go.
Even I think massive designers sometimes would put out a product doesn't work, or put a post on Instagram doesn't do as well, or do you know what I mean? It's not, that happens to everyone. So you've just got to learn from it.
The next question is, who is your biggest fashion inspiration or inspirations?
I actually have loads. I feel like I have inspo for like different things. Like, I love Rosie Huntington-Whiteley. I think she's just so classic, and I just love everything she wears. But then I love like Celine Dion. I think her outfits are amazing. I don't know, I have like quite a lot of people, like Hailey Bieber. I think she's so cool for like street style tracksuits, blazers and stuff. And I don't know, I have different people for different things.
Do you ever struggle with putting an outfit together? Or do you? Because it seems like it's very effortless.
No, I do struggle because I think I wear the same thing every day.
No,
so I need to stop wearing the same black blazer all the time.
Black blazers go over.
I wear it every day. I need to like branch out a bit.
What advice would you give to your 17-year-old self? So I'm assuming this person's 17. But...
I would say to care less about what people think, or what, like, things that might go wrong, or because I've always been like quite an overthinker. So I'd say, more so now that I'm older, I kind of just go with the flow, and if something goes wrong, it goes wrong. But when I was younger, I used to overthink everything, or it might stop me doing something because I think, oh my god, what if that goes wrong, or stuff like that. To be honest, I'd just say just go with life and don't think about it too much.
And advice on sort of starting your own brand / blog. I think you've already touched on it, but any like key bits of advice you'd give to someone?
I would say, if you're selling a product, you're selling it because you love the product and you've made it and you're so passionate about it. Or if you're starting a blog, be passionate about travel or food or fashion or makeup. Like, don't do it for like money or followers, or just do it because you're passionate about it. Because if you start a brand and you love what you're selling, you're probably going to sell more of it. If you start a brand because you just want money, you're going to get bored eventually. So, and obviously you're going to start a brand for, I guess, you'd want the brand to be going forever. So definitely have to be passionate, because otherwise you will get bored.
Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us. It was really good. I think there's a lot of people who are really excited to see it, because when I put it up, everyone was like,
I hope it's not too boring for anyone.
No, not at all. It was really good, so thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.